Okay, let's understand evolution of lithosphere. What is actually lithosphere and what is it, how it's evolved? What is a lithosphere? Anyone have any idea? What is a lithosphere? See, litho means rock. Litho means rock. Litho means rock. Let's understand this. What is this? The Earth was mostly in a volatile state during its primordial stage. Earth was mostly in volatile stage during its primordial stage. Due to gradual increase in the density, the temperature inside has increased. Due to yeah, exactly. Due to gradual increase in density, the temperature inside has increased. As a result, the material inside started getting separated depending on the densities. This allowed heavier materials like iron to sink towards the center of the head and the lighter ones to the move towards the surface. So understand this concept very clearly what he's saying. See, initially it was completely volatile. Initially the earth was completely volatile. Initially earth was completely volatile. But due to gradual increase in density, temperature inside the gas inside has increased. Now, see, initially it was, try to understand, initially it was completely volatile. Now what will happen? Due to increase in density, let's say density symbol I'm just keeping as a rho, let's say or else a T. Due to increase in density, what will happen as the density is increasing? See, let's say in the matter, you have some matter in it. The matter, this matter, when you're keeping this matter, is occupying in a small volume only. That's what density is meant for. Like a density is what? Mass by volume, or else some material occupying in volume you call as a density. So matter is occupying in volume. Its density is increasing. Automatically what will happen? There could be some kind of friction comes and the temperature rises. So automatically what will happen? Carefully understand this. Why density is increasing, temperature is what will happen? What will happen to the temperature inside then? Temperature, let's say T I'm representing, is also increasing. So as the density is increased, temperature is also increased. Is this point is clear? As the density is increased, due to gradual increase in the density, the temperature inside has also increased. Is that clear? Now, as a result of that, the material inside, what happened to the material inside, started getting separated depending on the densities. The material inside started getting separated depending on the density. So whatever the material you have, all this material, whatever the material you have inside all this material, as a result, what will happen? As the density, more density material will happen. What? It's simple logic gives. Let's see. I will take just let's say I will take. I put some water. I put some water. I put some oil, and I combinedly poured. What will happen over a time? You tell me. Or else I put some sand or else stone. All combinedly I placed. Let's say this is water or oil, and I placed some water, and I placed some sand particles also. There's some sand particles. What will happen to all these things? You tell me. After some time, you will find. After some time, what will find? After some time, you will find all sand particles in the bottom, isn't it? All sand particles in the bottom, and then next you will find water, and then next you will find some oil which is floating over it. This is how initially you kept everything together, but over a time it will be what? More based on the densities, which is more denser, which is having more mass when compared to in the volume, it's more mass, more denser. Similarly, when you look at that this density as increasing in the density, temperature rises. As a result, more denser material will come. What? That's what he's saying. This allowed heavier material like iron sink towards the center of the earth, and the lighter ones move towards the surface. Understand why that? No, you can correlate that easily. Heavier materials like iron, what will happen to this? Heavier materials like iron will be what? Coming to the center as it's coming down. Heavier material. So iron, or else you can say simply heavy materials or more density materials coming towards the center of the earth. And remaining materials, what will happen to the remaining materials? Remaining materials like no other material, other metals will coming to the surface. That is what we say. Is this clear? Heavier materials like iron to sink towards the center of the earth, the lighter ones move towards the surface. As it, with the passage of time, it cooled further and solidified and condensed into smaller size. With passage of time, what will happen? With passage of time, it solidified and condensed and into smaller size. Is it clear, everyone, what I'm trying to tell? So over a time, what will happen? It's condensed, it's solidified, it becomes solid. And over a time, it will become like this as a structure of layers. Now, this later led to the development of the outer surface in the form of crust. So it's also led to what? Outer surface of the crust over a time. During the formation of the moon, due to the giant impact, the earth was further heated up. It is through the process of differentiation, see, carefully use the word, the process of differentiation, that the earth forming material got separated into different layers. So what process? It's a process of differentiation. Why, in what, by what process the earth is getting separated to different layers? In the sense, it's a process of differentiation. Means what's happening in the differentiation process? Based on the density of the materials, they just sink towards the center, heavier materials, and the lighter materials move towards the surface. That's how you will get a structure like a layered structure. And that process you're calling as a process of differentiation, that the earth forming material got separated into different layers. Starting from the surface to the central parts, we have layers like crust, mantle, outer core, inner core. So what are the layers you're going to have? Crust, the next layer is mantle, next layer is outer core, and next layer is inner core. Right? This is what the evolution of the earth. From the crust to core, the density of the, you tell me, from the crust to core, the density will be increasing or decreasing? From the crust to core. Basic question, from the crust to core, is the density of that materials are increasing or decreasing? Yes. You can text me or you can unmute yourself. Please be in fact with the discussion, right? Tell me, you tell me, from the crust to, from here, this layer to inner core, you tell me, is material density is increasing or decreasing? Let's say UPSC put a question like this. From crust to core, crust to, this is the question. From crust to core, is material density increase, we decrease, C uniform, D unsafe, undefined. Which one it will be? Definitely, it will be increasing. Excellent, excellent. It will be increasing because that's what you understand. From crust to core, it's increasing. That's what the process of differentiation. Heavier materials, which are more dense materials, will come towards core. That's the reason inner core is very easy. While you're even digging, you will find what? While you're digging, you find more strong rocks inside, like diamonds and all, or else even this. Granite stones and all, like you're going down, you're finding more and more density materials. It's a fundamental thing, right? I mean, just generally also that's how we see, right? When you're going down and down, deeper and deeper, you find more and more density materials. Fine. Is it clear? This is a very good question. They can keep any question like, from core to crust while you going, what could be the density? This is a good question. They can keep. That's how they say competitive exams put the questions. From the crust to core, the density of the materials increases. Very good statement. This is very important. We shall discuss in detail these properties of each layer in the next chapter. I mean, interior of the earth. When we are discussing that chapter, we will discuss all these things in a very detail. Fine. Okay, let's now you're talking about lithosphere, which is like Earth's layers. This all together, core, inner core, outer core, mantle, and all called as a lithosphere. Let's talk about the evolution of the atmosphere and hydrosphere, because so far now we discussed what, how this inner surface and inner core, outer core, mantle, these are forming, and what is the process of this formation? Process of differentiation. Process of differentiation. Based on this process, we have this, right? Process of differentiation, we have this thing. Now, let's see on surface how you have a hydrosphere. On surface, how we going to have a hydrosphere and atmosphere? Remind me, this is a lithosphere which is having this. So now we have seen that how we have a this inner core and outer core and mantle and crust is formed. This is now next is what? Next you have a hydrosphere. How you got water on it, and how you got a atmosphere. How these evolutions are happening, hydrosphere and atmosphere. Let's understand it. Hope everyone is following, right? Let's understand evolution of atmosphere and hydrosphere. The present composition of Earth's atmosphere is what? The present composition of Earth's atmosphere is mainly contributed by what? Nitrogen and oxygen. Mainly contributed by nitrogen and oxygen, obviously. Mostly it's a N2, nitrogen and O2, oxygen. The main contribution of Earth's atmosphere is nitrogen and oxygen. You will be dealing with the composition structure of Earth atmosphere in chapter 8. Again, we have an atmosphere topic in the chapter 8. There we will discuss these things in detail. How much percentage, how it is happened and all. But let's see how the evolution is happened, that we'll discuss here. The evolution process we'll discuss here. Right? There are the 3 stages in the evolution of the present atmosphere. So how many stages? 3 stages in the present atmosphere. The first stage is marked by the loss of primordial atmosphere. The first is, see, initially it is what? A primordial stage, which is having completely hydrogen and helium clouds. That's the first stage. But the first stage is losing that one. Loss of, what is the first stage? Loss of primordial atmosphere. In the second stage, the hot interior of Earth contributed to evolution of the atmosphere. Try to understand this. So first stage is loss of primordial atmosphere. Second stage is the hot interior of Earth contributed to the evolution of the atmosphere. So this is the second stage. We will discuss this in detail. Finally, the composition of the atmosphere was modified by the living world through the process of photosynthesis. The composition of the atmosphere was modified by the living world through the process of photosynthesis. So what are the 3 stages? I'm just writing the 3 stages. Let's go into it. We will discuss that. So first stage is evolution process of atmosphere. Right? So there's a 3 stages. First stage is loss of primordial atmosphere. Loss of primordial atmosphere. I'm just giving some space to explain this. What is it? And then next stage is formation of atmosphere due to changes happen in the interior of hot interior of Earth. So to hot interior of Earth, formation of Earth. Right. Next stage is changes by living organisms. Changes made by living organisms. By what process? By process of photosynthesis. See, don't try to by heart. Try to understand so that you can remember. Telling you again and again. Never try to by heart something. Try to understand it so that you can remember it for the long time. If you understand something, you will remember it for the long time. If you by heart, by the next day you will forget. So try to understand the concept. What is concept it is? What kind of how things happen? Try to question and get from the reasoning. You try to understand. Please try to do that. Okay. Okay. Let's look at that. What is each stage? So first stage is what? Uh, Loss of primordial atmosphere. That the early atmosphere with hydrogen and helium is supposed to have been stripped off as a result of the solar winds. This happened not only in case of Earth, but also in all the terrestrial planets. So we have a primordial atmosphere. What we have in the primordial atmosphere, we have a hydrogen and helium. In the primordial atmosphere, we have earlier stage hydrogen and helium we have. So hydrogen and helium completely this all because it's a simply gas clouds. That's what we understood when it's a forming. Initially, it was like what simply hydrogen and helium. The gas clouds it has outer layer. I'm talking about just here. But because of the sun, what will happen? Because of the sun, this hydrogen and helium what moved out. That's what he said. Are they supposed to have the stripped off as a result of the solar winds? Hydrogen and helium is supposed to have been stripped off. This happened not only in the case of Earth, for the every planet, every terrestrial body, every terrestrial planet, this happened, which were supposed to have lost their primordial atmosphere through the impact of the solar winds. So how this primordial atmosphere was lost? Lost because of solar winds. Because of solar winds. So I can write this. Because of solar winds. This primordial atmosphere was lost. Because of the solar winds. The primordial atmosphere was lost. Is it clear? Next, what he's saying, try to understand. So, next is what? During the cooling of Earth, the next stage is this no. The hot interior of the Earth contributed to the evolution of the Earth. The hot interior of the Earth contributed. Now, what's that? How it's contributed? Try to understand. During the cooling of Earth, gases and water vapor were released from the interior solid Earth. So, see, understand this? Gases and water vapor were released from the interior solid Earth. So now, see, what do you mean by that? See, now this layer of this layer of helium and hydrogen that will be what fade out simply by that will be fade out simply by solar winds. So therefore, I don't have these things now because of that cooling of interior or no as it's a hot interior hot interior inner core or hot interior now it started cooling because of the cooling. So now you can understand when you have a very hot object, very huge temperature object, suddenly it start condensing or else no started cooling, what will happen? You will identify some water droplets. You see anyway anytime this thing like, you can see like where you can observe these things You can observe these things like a very hot object you bring and you kept it in some freezer or anything. You can find some like no, you can see these things like even water bottle you take. You keep that water bottle in some temperature outside, sunlight, and suddenly you bring. Excuse me. Suddenly you bring that water bottle to any cooler place. It started cooling. Then you can find water droplets outside or inside. Do you identify those things like that? Please let me know. I mean, you see, you observe this thing.
Yes.
These things, no, this condensation process, or no, these things we can see. Technically, we don't want to talk the term what is a condensation process, but you can observe these things. So same process. The hot object initially it was a hot object. The earth was very hot object. Now because of no time and no because of as the time progressed, it started cooling. The interior of earth, the things are started cooling. Then what will happen during that cooling process? During that cooling process, you can see that during the cooling of the earth, whatever the gases and water vapor were released. So initially it has only hydrogen and helium. That hydrogen and helium also fade out by what? Simply stripped out by solar winds. Now it doesn't have any gases. But because of this cooling process, no, during this cooling process, not because of that, during cooling process, what released when it is cooling? What's released? Gases and water vapor are released. Gases and water vapor are released. So what will happen to that water vapor? Simply, it was here, and gases also become like this. So during the cooling of earth, gases and water vapor are released. Now, what will happen next further? This started the evolution of the present atmosphere. The early atmosphere largely contained water vapor, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, methane, CO. Early, these are very important. Early, it doesn't have any more oxygen, very little free of oxygen. Usually people ask this thing. They will give early earth atmosphere has more in water vapor, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, oxygen. They can give options like this. But what is actually, if you see the early atmosphere more have water vapor, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, methane, ammonia, and very little amount of oxygen. Very little amount of oxygen. So early atmosphere, what it has, you can see like early atmosphere, it has a carbon dioxide, nitrogen, methane. Methane is nothing but CH4, methane, and it has what? Let's see. Carbon dioxide, water vapor. You can write simply H2O. Water vapor, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, methane, ammonia. Ammonia is nothing but NH3. Ammonia is NH3 or NH4, nitrates. And very few of them. Now you see, if you look at it, all are what? Simply carbon, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, methane, water vapor, ammonia. These are the early contents in a large scale, in large amount. And very little amount, oxygen is very little amount. Oxygen is very little amount. So first stage, the earth has having only hydrogen and helium cloud, but and rocks, of course, lithosphere, no, it has rock and no solid metal. Then after, because of the solar winds, that hydrogen and helium was blown out, it was stripped off, and then the earth over a time progress, the earth interior start cooling. During the cooling process, it releases some gases and water vapor. What are the gases? In the sense, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, methane and ammonia, and some water vapor. These are the major components. Oxygen is not there during the first time. Oxygen is not there. Then you can answer how oxygen is came to the picture, that we will discuss. And they can keep a very good question here. Let me tell you how they can keep a question. Let's answer this question. I will write this question. during the cooling process, the major gases released the Earth's atmosphere. One, hydrogen. Two, carbon dioxide. Three, oxygen. Four, methane. This is the way question they can keep. And during the cooling process, option A. Option A. 1, 3, 4. Option B. 2, 3. Option C. 2, 4. Option D. 3, 4. 3 and 2. 2 and 3. Which option is correct? Which option is? UPSC is very clever. It's people see you. It's not simply direct questions they can ask you. They ask you this kind of questions. They can give you options like this, and they can give again combinations. Every UPSC question. That's the reason this is the toughest exam. One of the tough exams. So prelims. When you look at the prelims objective questions, this is how they keep the questions. They can keep 4 or 5 things, and they can combine the options 4 or 5. One or two options like this. This is how the pattern of the question is UPSC civil services. So now you tell me which option is correct.
Option A.
Option A. Okay. Now if you see someone is saying option A, let's go with that option A. Try to understand. If some option A is correct, let's say I'm going with it. Hydrogen, oxygen, and methane. But when it's during the cooling process after that atmosphere, during the cooling process atmosphere, you don't have a major oxygen and you don't have a major hydrogen. So this is not correct option. You understanding, right? What are the gases we have? Just now we discussed during the cooling process, the atmosphere has got carbon dioxide, nitrogen, methane, hydrogen, water vapor, ammonia. Oxygen is very less, and hydrogen is completely blown out. So which things you are going to have then?
Sir, option C.
Yes, so it's an option C because you can eliminate, because there is no oxygen, there is no hydrogen. 1 and 3 you can eliminate. So this is not correct. As it's a 3 here, it's not correct. It's not correct. So which option is correct? First option C. So like this, you need to check. The questions are going to be very fundamental and very clear. These things you need to be very sure about it, right? And this is one question they asked in the prelims UPSC. Already this question they asked this question exactly. Right. So you got an idea, right? Why important? No, very important that to read the textbook. You will get very much more information. So water vapor, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and methane, ammonia, and very little amount of oxygen. Now, clear everyone? Any doubts? Okay. Let's continue. The process through which the gases were outpoured from the interior is called degassing. So the process in which the gases are coming from the interior of it, we call it as a degassing. Degassing. What is the process we call? The process is called as a degassing. What do you mean by degassing? The process through which the gases were outpoured from the interior is called degassing. Continuous volcanic eruptions contributed water vapor and gases. Water vapor and gases to what? To the atmosphere. continuous that volcanic eruptions, volcanic lava, whatever the lava you see that coming out of it, and that's better. That's as the earth cooled, the water vapor released it started getting condensed. As the earth cooled, the water vapor release started getting condensed. Once water vapor condensed, what will happen? Then it was condensed. Condensed means one water we see. You know, you are seeing the clouds. Clouds is nothing but like what simply they are water vapors. Now, once it is condensed, they will become a water droplets. I hope you understanding. See now, though initially it is a water vapor. Once it is condensed, what will happen? It becomes a water droplets. That's what you're going to get a rain. Rain. Now, during this rain, what will happen? The carbon dioxide in the atmosphere got dissolved in the rain. So, in this rain, the carbon dioxide CO2 was dissolved in the rain, and the temperature further decreased, causing more condensation. What will happen when the carbon dioxide dissolved? When there is no more amount of carbon dioxide, the temperature in the atmosphere what started decreasing. The temperature started decreasing because more carbon dioxide, more temperature. That's what you're talking about, the global warming. People are releasing more carbon dioxide. No, there is no source of what absorption of the carbon dioxide. The temperatures are rising. But now, if the carbon dioxide is decreased, dissolved in the rainfall, the temperature is decreasing. Once the temperature is decreasing, it causes what? More water vapor to condense and give you the more rainfall. So that's how the cycle is. So more rainfall. Now, once you have more rainfall, the rainwater falling onto the surface got collected in the depressions to give rise to the oceans. That's how oceans are formed. The Earth's oceans were formed within 500 million years from the formation of Earth. From the formation of Earth, within 500 million years, the formation of the ocean, oceans have happened. This tells us that the oceans are as old as 4,000 million years. Sometime around 3,800 million years ago, life began to evolve. However, around 2,500 to 3,000 million years before the present, the process of photosynthesis got evolved. And life was confined to the oceans for a long time. Oceans begin to have the contribution of oxygen through the process of photosynthesis. Eventually, oceans were saturated with oxygen, and 2,000 million years ago, oxygen began to flood the atmosphere. So, initially, there will be no oxygen. After 2,000 million years later, only there's oxygen. And that's how you can see the origin of life also over the earth. Is it clear everything so far? And you can read this stage of geological time scale. Each stage what happened. When there will be this is what a Big Bang, origin of stars or Big Bang supernova, the origin of sun, origin of universe. That's how. Then in the Precambrian period, this is like 4,000 million years ago. What will happen? That you can see that. And then this is Paleozoic, Mesozoic, and Cainozoic. What happened? And these are just have a go through it, read it carefully. What's in this table? And if you have any doubts, you let me know. Actually, hope everything you understood, right? The discussion what we made today. Any questions? Anyone? Okay, then I'm stopping the sharing.